Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We are playing the Magical Lands of Yield, which is a pen and paper role playing game. We have special guests in playing this of Jake and Nick, the developers of the Magical Land of Yield. As usual, I'm going to go around the table and see how everyone's week was going. Let's start with Jake first. How you doing?
As always, I had a really busy week. I've always got a lot to work on, but the weather's been really nice, and I have nothing to complain about.
That's good. Yeah, I heard you walked to work today.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I don't live that far from work, but like I said, today it was especially nice. So, a lot better than the normal rain.
Yeah, I live a little bit closer to work than you do. It's literally I get up out of bed, I sit in my chair at my desk, and I'm at work. So, but a nice long walk, a good walk to work. I've had jobs like that. I really enjoy that kind of thing. Nick, how was your week?
Not bad. A lot of cleaning. Got to play some video games. This is going to be the second Yeld game that Jake and I have played this week.
Oh,
so
nice.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
don't get to do that often.
That's good. And Zabby, what about your week?
I've been low on sleep pretty much all week, so it was actually literally just resting my eyes for a bit before jumping in over here, which is why it was last minute. But hey, awake and should be functional enough.
If not, we'll have another death on our hands, and that's always fun. Get to play a ghost.
It's supposed to
I was going to say, just getting into the ghost
when you're dead.
Yeah. And speaking of people who are used to being unalived in games, Draco, how was your week?
Oh, thank you for not saving me last again. My week was eventful. My Discord account got hacked. Had to burn it, scorched earth policy. And I got my PC looked at and reset Windows and downloaded everything this week. So, yeah, that was about it.
Wow. Busy week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about you, Mega?
Yeah, just productive work week. Nothing special happened. I did get my, I did finalize my traveling plans for Salt Lake next month.
Okay.
And I'll be gone from the 20th through the 24th, so I will not be available that Friday on the 22nd.
Okay, well, we can either sort of cancel that one, unless it's something like major where we need all of the characters there, then we can cancel, or we can just do, from what I understand, the game without you, with the way the developers have created it. And then let's move on to finally Ro.
It's nice to see that spring's finally coming through, and so it's been sunny. We've been finally getting rid of our winter coats around here in the Great Lakes, and Just today, we were planting onions and radishes as the first things in the garden.
And so now that we've gotten all that out of the way, I believe it's Nick. You've been GMing this, so let's have you take things over.
No, actually, it was me.
Nick.
But that's
Yeah.
fine.
Sorry.
No, that's quite all right.
I'm trying to push the GMing rules onto Nick so that you get to play your character a bit. But no, I'm messing around.
Yeah. I think Nick will be handling the next adventure.
What is the plan?
So last time, you returned to the door after rescuing the third triplet, whose name is Diesel. Unfortunately, during that adventure, you had a casualty. Terra succumbed to her wounds and passed into the ghost world, but astoundingly came back to life, just like Diesel had. And that's a little jarring. Even more jarring is when you got back to the door and discovered that it was locked tight. You spent all night trying to pound your way into the door, trying to pick the lock, trying to wedge something in between the door and the door jam, and it just wouldn't. And eventually you fell asleep, only to be woken in the morning by a giant snake. But this snake is friendly. His name is Hubert Hiss, and he talks like a person. Despite being an enormous snake, he is wearing a very fancy hat and a very fancy vest, and he appears to need your help. Hubert asked if you would help him transport his goods to a town nearby, and he's happy to pay you for that service. In fact, he thinks there's probably somebody in that town that can help you with your door problem. So, on this bright morning, Hubert stands in front of you on the grassy hill next to the door where you had all fallen asleep. He is smiling as best a snake can smile, and he is offering you a job. Are you interested in accepting?
So DJ speaks up and says, we have nothing better. We should find some people who can help us out. I say we help him out. We'll make a little bit of money and be able to maybe find a way home.
They're just sleeping inside the door. They'll open the door if we just wait. It's breakfast time. They come and open the door and they feed.
Unfortunately, Code, I don't think that's how that's going to happen this time.
It always happens. You wait.
No, I think I have the best
they
idea.
Open up and they feed you.
No, I think I have the best idea, but we help the snake out to get some adults and do that.
Well, the adults are on the other side of the door.
Well, the snake says there are people that can help us where they're going too. So it's how do I looking at Diesel and sorry, I forgot the other one. The other brother. Gator. And going, how do I tell a dog about locks?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure how locks work either. I think I know you need a key, and I know that's like behind locks is where Mom keeps all like the best snacks.
Yeah, well, behind this lock that has 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 locks.
Best snacks
is home.
There's that many locks. It's got to have the best snacks.
It is obvious that Coda is having some understandable problems leaving the door, and accepting that the door is not going to open. In fact, you all feel a little bit of dread. Surely this door is going to open somehow, some way. Hubert, your new snake friend, though, tries to reassure you. He says, if you're interested in snacks, among my goods, I have a very healthy breakfast I can share with you. And in fact, I have enough snacks to get us to the next town. I had brought food in order for my porters to have something to eat on the trip, but they've abandoned me entirely. So if you're willing to help me out, not only will I pay you, I will feed you.
Huber comes up to the Hubert and looks at him and says, "Best friend forever."
Hubert seems genuinely pleased. Hubert has some real middle-aged man energy going on. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what's going on with snakes in general, but he seems kind of like a friendly uncle kind of person. And he certainly has the hat for it. He leans down and he licks Coda on the top of your head. Or possibly your helmet. Still wearing it.
Got the helmet. That's fine.
I think we have an agreement then, but we should solidify that. If one of you would help me out, in my pouch, he shakes his snake torso and the pouch that is secured around his torso under his belt. He says, you will find, if you reach into my pouch, you will find a calendar and a contract, and we can get the paperwork out of the way, and then you'll be my official employees, at least for the duration of our trip.
Tara, you're probably better at this contract.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do with reading it on here. So she does up for the pouch and it's shuffling around for the papers he's talking about.
All right, for such a small pouch, there's quite a bit of stuff in here. But you find a rolled up set of papers, and as you unroll them, you find there is a simple contract which you can read over, as well as a calendar. And I am opening the calendar on our screen here so you can all see it. The contract is simple enough. It says, I, Hubert Hiss, agree to pay X number of employees to escort me from Boulder Town to the town of, I forgot where we're going, Brewery Bend. I will pay each employee, each porter, some coins upon delivery to Brewery Bend. Oh, God, I cannot talk today.
I don't think giving yourself a tongue twister to go with all episode.
Yeah. It's funny because I said Brewery Bend several times before we started playing as I was deciding what town I wanted to use, and now I can't say it anymore.
Well, that's just because you used up all your success rolls in the
Exactly.
practice.
That's true. That's true. It's only critical failures from now on. Does Tara want to roll some smart dice and possibly some negotiate dice to go over the contract and see if she feels it's fair?
Yeah, that sounds like an excellent thing to do. And she's like reading it out loud as she's going over the whole thing. Let's see, so that's going to be 3.
All right, this is going to be a normal difficulty challenge, so you're only going to need a 6.
Yeah, well, we got that. 13.
All right. You spend some time looking over this relatively simple contract. I don't know if as a 12-year-old you spend a lot of time practicing contract laws, but, this seems fair to you. It's not clear how far the next town is, how far away this Brewery Bend is, and it's not clear exactly how much some coins is either. You might want to clarify that.
Yeah, those sound like a couple very excellent questions on there. It's like, excuse me, Mr. It's when you say some, how much is some for you?
Well, for me, it's more than none, but less than a lot. But I imagine you're looking for a specific amount. Some coins would be a suitable purse of coins for each of you.
Kind of just squints at him a little bit on here. It's like, this in the...
Can I get paid in snacks instead of coin?
I'd be happy to pay you in snacks instead of coin. However, I am an honest snake. And as he says honest snake, he brings his tail up to his chest region and presses against it as you to emphasize his honesty. And he says, and I feel obligated to tell you that meals are included in your wages, at least while supplies last.
Yeah, so kind of the combination of how he defines some, along with saying he's merchant of some repute from last time on there. That's she's getting a little bit of a twisty feeling about that, but he's also the only person that they've actually met who talks over on this side here. That
is true.
And it's clear she's got some misgivings about it, but she also doesn't look like she doesn't believe that she's really got any sort of thing to push on it about. So it's we kind of have to trust him, even though unfortunately she knows that some adults can't be trusted, but you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Your misgivings are clear here, and I think wise. Hubert is waiting patiently to see if you have any more actual concerns or notes to bring up and voice to him, or if you're willing to sign his contract.
Well, so she does bring up the calendar just to use kind of as a comparison. So, where again here, and when do you think we get there? Kind of like pointing at the dates.
Oh, well, that's a very good question. If you refer to the calendar, my original porters and I actually left Boulder Town 3 days ago. However, they abandoned me last night. Now, luckily for all of us, Brewery Bend is only a day away. So, if we leave today, which is the 1st of spring, and he points to his calendar with the tip of his tail, we can travel all day today and camp this evening in a spot I know well. And then we should arrive in Brewery Bend early tomorrow, in time for the spelling bee, which I think is where you'll find the help you
need. All right, so it's some money, it's food, which is kind of rather more important. Yeah, looks over at all the others, is like, and kind of
looks up at Tara with those big eyes, just staring and looking at her as if she must be some god as she understands what's going on.
A demigod, maybe, because she's not all the way there.
It's worth noting again that Tara is 12 years old, and Coda is also 12 years old, but the rest of the kids are all 8 years old. And
the brothers are 10.
The brothers are 10? I'm sorry. I thought they were 8. Well, that does make a difference. But my point being, Tara is significantly older than the rest of the kids. It is not surprising that they would look up to you in this situation.
I guess it's just kind of try and get a vibe check on it, because it's like if anyone else kind of looks like they have any bad feelings, or invite them if they've got any questions on it here. Just want to just speak for everyone just right off the bat.
Sure. Diesel looks like he's still queasy from being dead.
Bard kind of puts a hand over his stomach and kind of moans like he's hungry.
I don't think Gator has stopped looking at the snake yet, and certainly encourages everyone to sign anything the snake wants.
DJ just sort of shrugs his shoulders and goes, wherever the group's up for, I'll follow.
Yeah, Siobhan's down as far as anywhere we can get food and help. Like, sounds fine to me.
All right, so just kind of takes a deep breath. Turn over to the snake. It's like, hey, we'll be out. If you need us to sign, we don't have any pencils.
Oh, I would never ask you to sign in pencil. You'll find a pen and ink in my pouch.
Back and she goes. Just rummage.
Hello?
As you're rummaging around, something clinks against your hand,
Hello?
and you realize that you are running your fingers
Yeah,
over
okay.
what feels like a pouch of coins.
Just kind of clink it
Sleight
in.
of hand, 5-finger disco.
Oh no, Tara's a good girl, but it is very reassuring to know that he actually does have money.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so she feels a little bitter about this.
Yeah. All right. You find the bottle of ink, and he asks you to sign the contract on behalf of your friends.
All right, just one more quick look over it, and I guess if there's no pen, I guess it's basically ink on the finger and then scrawl.
There is also a pen.
Okay. A little more civilized than that. Good.
Yeah, it's a nice little set that you wonder how he normally uses it with that.
I mean, at this point, she's also pretty hungry and still a little shaken up. For the moment, I think she's not going to question it any further because, like you said, she's 12. It's been a day.
All right. Well, with the contract signed, Hubert also asks you to mark off the day on the calendar, and he lets out a satisfied hiss and says, "Welcome to Hiss Industries," or as I like to call it, Hiss Industries. He says in a way that sounds better when he pronounces it than when I say it. As my newest employees, I guarantee you a satisfactory employment span until we part ways tomorrow. As you sign the contract, you notice, or it occurs to you that today's the first day of spring, and tomorrow's the second day of spring, and that's got to be really close to Coda's birthday. And like his birthday was coming up.
Yeah, it is the 2nd of spring, but not that Coda really understands birthdays, so.
No. I feel like your friends might have a better sense of that than you. Or they might not at all, actually.
Would we have ever actually known just when
no, because
the birthday was? Because it's not like he could have told us.
Because I'm not a family dog.
That's a good point.
So nobody knows my birthday.
That's a good point. All right, that'll remain a mystery. Hubert leads you back up over the hill where the door was, and back down the other side, a side that none of you have ever been to. At the bottom of that hill is a small stream cutting through the grass, and scattered around the stream are an assortment of boxes and packages. He says, "See, we crossed the stream last night, and then my porters threw a fit. They wanted more money because the trip was taking long, they said, and some coins was just not enough for them. So they claimed. I hate to say it, but they held me at knife point, and it was only my wit and my intelligence that saved the day. I was able to convince them that it was better to part ways. Thankfully, I found you at the top of the hill, and you can take their place as my new employees."
Coda will sniff the packages and the boxes just to see what's in them.
You smell food immediately. And Hubert says, "Yes, that's the one. If you open that package, you'll find our supplies. I think you'll be pleased."
All right. Coda will paw that and look at the other people to open it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. And immediately you find some dried meat, some sausage, hard-boiled eggs. I decided we'd have eggs after all. Some loaves of bread, and some tins that have a little painting of a fish on them. There's also a bottle of what looks to you all like wine, but you're probably not wine experts.
No. We'll look at anybody around and go, sausage? Sausage?
I
Yeah,
am
there's-
hungry.
Go kind of separate one out and feed it to him there.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
It's morning, and while I'd like to get started soon, it looks like you've all had a rough night, and you could probably use a meal before we get started. So help yourself, but keep in mind, this food does have to last us through today and tomorrow morning.
So
And as you look, oh, go ahead.
Is this food like? Because I know that there's the food table that has, you know, the how food can affect stats. Is this food for that purpose, or is this just?
This is narrative food.
Okay, cool.
Not food items.
I just noticed you said dried beef and sausages. I'm like, that's two of the items. So-
That is two of the items. You're right.
Yeah.
I should have done something more. I should have said like pastries and peanut butter or something.
It's all good. Just just needed clarification is all. Cool. I'm gonna start eating.
Yeah.
DJ
Actually, yeah,
starts eating
we're-
too.
If we're being careful, Tara will try to like keep ration things out a bit on there, especially the triplets. She knows will probably annihilate the entire food supply if they're not careful. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah,
just one
there-
each.
There is quite a bit of food. You do think it would be easy to eat through everything, but this looks like it's probably enough food for breakfast today, lunch today, and dinner. You'd have to stretch it a bit if you want breakfast tomorrow as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, please make sure that everybody does not just scarf all through the food behind. The water in the stream looks fresh, and Hubert himself takes a big drink of it.
We'll lap up her share of water.
As you eat breakfast, Hubert takes a moment to show you his calendar, which he seems to be relatively proud of. How the calendar in Yeld works is that, as you can see on the screen here, we have the spring calendar. Or I hope you can see this.
Yep,
Oh yeah, we
it's
can
up.
see it.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Yeld has 4 seasons, as you might expect: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And if you look closely at the calendar, you can see each season is 25 days. Your birthdays you've already chosen your birthdays. So Koda's is coming up on the 2nd, and I believe Siobhan's is on the 6th.
That's right.
Okay. And your others come in, the summer and the fall. And of course, the triplets just had their 10th birthday a few days ago. As we travel throughout Yeld, time will pass on the calendar, and of course, as we have adventures, time will pass as well. For example, a day is going to pass over the course of this adventure as we travel to this town of Berkeley. Travel takes place on our map, and you can actually find the map on the side here in the handout section as well. But I have one on the screen which I will share with you. So as you can see, our map is kind of an indistinct grid. Nothing special. But in the middle is the square where we found our door. And if you looked at the map handout, you would see that square, which is E5, is labeled as having the door and the broccoli lobster forest and the collapsed tower. We're going to be traveling to square F5. And that's where we will visit the town of Brewery Bend and the Spelling Bee. So normally travel between map squares takes 4 days, and we would mark that off on the calendar as we go. So that is how time passes in Yeld. And Hubert explains all of that to you like you're idiots, and you have never heard of time or space or calendars. But you're children, so maybe this is a new concept for you.
He's so smart for a snake.
And his clothes are so fancy.
You know what? It's Snake's favorite subject in school? History.
Oh,
Oh, he actually lets out a chuckle and he says, "That is very good." It does not surprise me at all as young students that you have a good sense of humor and school humor. That's going to serve you very well at the Spelling Bee.
Gator immediately gets jealous. that someone else got praise from the snake.
Just reach over, give Gator some shoulder pats to try and prevent bad feelings from coming up on there. Just mediator duties.
Me and that snake are going to be best friends. I tell you, it's going to happen.
You can't be best friends with a snake. Snakes don't have feelings.
I can be best friends with whoever I want. You don't even have a best friend.
I do have a
But no.
best friend. Yes, I do. My best friend is Bard.
Doesn't count. Bard's my best friend until I get that snake.
There may be trouble brewing with triplets.
There's always trouble brewing with the triplets.
Yeah.
kind of move in gently. Can't nudge them towards different parts of the group on there. It doesn't help, but at least it keeps them out of arm's reach and keeps them from escalating physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that is
All right.
So.
All right. If we've had food and that packages or boxes in his teeth.
Okay. The packages are not particularly heavy. They vary in weight, but there is none of them that you cannot each carry. However, there's quite a few of them. Some of them have straps and harnesses. If you want to, you could pile several on your back. But between the bunch of you, you don't have any trouble carrying them at all. It's very clear why Hubert needs porters, though. He's completely unable to carry anything himself. But after a moment, you're all secure, and Hubert leads the way. He tells you that if we follow the stream and go around the forest, we're going to come to one of the great roads, and from there is just a full day's walk to our campsite, and then another short walk tomorrow morning to Brewery Bend. I think it'll be a very easy trip.
I hope we can find an adult. Are there any adults that aren't animals? I asked Hubert.
Do you mean, well, I am an adult, of course, but do you mean adults who are not members of the animal tribes?
Yeah, like adults,
Oh, do you mean like you?
Well, yeah, but older.
Right. Yeah, I expect there will be some King's people in Brewery Bend, and most likely fairies and mermaids and others too. And plenty of members of the animal tribes if you need a sensible adult. But it seems to me
one like us will do good.
Okay, well, it seems to me like you will need a tool user, and King's people are better tool users than the animal tribes. I'm sure somebody with a key or a lock pick kit or a good pry bar can get that door open. He slithers along the edge of the stream, and eventually the stream connects to the road. The road is a dirt road. It is on one side, there's a fence that runs along it, and it seems to be well traveled. You've left the forest behind and the hills behind, and now it's relatively flat land. Off in the distance to one side across a field, you can see what looks like it might be a farmhouse or a cottage of some kind, but that leads away from the road.
It leads away from the what?
The road.
The road, okay.
But it is a sign of civilization. It's the first building besides the tower you've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
this
doesn't
one
look
looks
all
like
collapsed and haunted. And
no, this one looks. It's hard to tell if it's abandoned or not, but it looks like a place where somebody might live.
Everything here
definitely
looks so old-timey.
Well, it's an old-timey part of the countryside. We're not close to any of the cities. Brewery Bend is moderate-sized town. I trade there quite a bit. I mean, I think you'll be impressed by the services they have, but it's no city. I don't even think you could buy a decent hat.
Oh, definitely not anything as nice as that one.
Thank you. He tilts his head in appreciation, and the hat falls right off his head.
Scoop. Well, considering our arms are probably full, so it's a little bit of a production to kind of scoop it back up for him there.
It's a whole thing, but he's appreciative. Thank you, dear. I can tell. I can tell you're the brains of the operation.
He kind of brings a little bit on there, but I'm like, no, it's not qualified. Yeah, she brings a bit.
As you were talking, as you sat the packages down to scoop up the hat and then preen a little bit, suddenly from either side of the road, from the grass on either side of the road, leaps two. It's hard to describe them as anything but ruffians and adults, but they are strange adults indeed. They are adult sized. You would definitely look at their silhouettes and think that is an adult sized person. One of them is a woman, and she has purple skin, pinkish purple skin, and bright green hair. And her eyes, her entire eye sockets are filled with pitch black with piercing white pupils. She's holding a knife in her hand. The other one is definitely person shaped, but he looks like he's made entirely out of old sack, like a burlap sack or a potato bag. He has a mouth which is full of jagged teeth, and he also has pitch black eyes, and he's holding a knife. Both of them are dressed in kind of plain clothes. And the woman yells out, "Ha! Hubert, you thought you could get away from us. We want our money."
So DJ is immediately going to put down what he's carrying and pull out his hammer.
The woman looks taken aback, and she steps back a bit and kind of looks around as if this is the first time she's realized that you're all standing there next to the snake.
There's probably like still on the ground in front of him, and it's like
right,
panicked little kid there.
Mm-hmm.
Oda will kind of step forward and growl and look tough.
Hey,
guard dog.
Hey, says the woman. I don't know where you found a wolf and a bunch of kids, but this is between you and us. You owe us lots of coins. Trying to pay us just some coins to schlep these packages all the way to Brewery Bend just isn't fair. We told you that last night before you ran off. Now you give us what you owe us, and this can all go away. We'll go our separate way, but we want what you owe us.
I do like a check to see which, comparing the statements, like which is more believable as far as this woman's story versus what the snake had told us.
Well, here's a question. Are you inclined to believe Hubert? Have you been impressed by him, or does he seem devious to you?
I don't know. He doesn't seem particularly devious to me. I mean, obviously, like now that this woman is claiming that he ran off on them rather than them having abandoned him, is essentially the main thing that makes me wonder if he's trustworthy. Beforehand, I was just happy to, that someone had some food and could tell us where to find some help.
All right. Go ahead and make a smart roll.
Smart?
Yeah. Do you have any special dice you feel like you might be able to add to this?
Let me double check that. Hold on, I gotta pull my character sheet. No, don't think so. I have Cry, See in the Dark, and Gamble, which don't really seem to fit.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. If you want to start crying and sobbing, you might be able to get something out of them. But if you're just trying to decide if this woman is telling the truth, I think a smart roll.
Yeah, that's just 1d6. Oh, it is a 6 though.
Well, 6 is exactly what you need. you can't be sure what is happening here. You get your impression is that this woman is kind of a thug, but she's not exactly lying.
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna ask the snake. Did you run off on these people?
Hubert lets out an exasperated sigh and says, "My friend, I can't run. I'm a snake."
Did you slither off on these people?
I admit that I did. They started demanding money that we had not agreed on, and when I said that wasn't fair, they threatened my life. I was forced to slither away. I had to leave all my packages behind. It's a good thing they didn't run off for them. I can say that I can say for these ruffians that they might have demanded more than they deserved and threatened me, but at least they didn't steal my goods. The larger person, who is made out of burlap sacks, clears his throat and says, "Listen, the job was more than you said it would be. Brewery Bend is a lot further away than you said. We'd been traveling for 3 days already, and you said it would only be 2. You owe us lots of coins."
Bard is kind of wondering the same thing now that Siobhan was wondering. The stories, and since he is a liar, would there be a way for him to discern with his smart dice and his lying dice to see which one was the actual truth?
I think so. I think you can make a smart roll. This is going to be a difficult challenge, which means you'll need a 9 better. But you should be able to get to the truth.
Okay, so 1 smart and 2 lie dice.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, following Siobhan's lead, you're able to put your lying skills to use. And listening to your story, here's what you think. You don't think anybody's being entirely truthful here. Your impression is that maybe Hubert lied to them about how long the trip would take, but you also get the impression that these people had agreed to work for a specific wage, and now they're going back on that. And you believe Hubert when he says that they threatened him with violence.
And so with that, Bard is going to kind of put the packages down next to him and kind of step forward as he pulls his slingshot out of his back pocket. And he's looking at the woman. He's like, "Ma'am, I just want you to know that me and my friends here, we know a lawyer. It's my dad. My dad is a lawyer, okay? And if you have signed a contract with said merchant here, then that means that contract holds true in any court, anywhere. So if you're willing to spend, trust me, you don't want to go to court because you will spend a lot of months. My dad took 1 court case once, and it was a year long. It was a whole year long. You could be doing a lot of other things in that year, you and your friend here. So the opposite side is if you did sign that contract, that Mr. Hubert here would be able to take you to court and sue you for running away, which could also take money from you. I don't know if you have much money and how much time you want to spend, but I can have my dad all rally us up in a court of law, and we will handle this." And of course, that's mostly a lie.
Okay.
He's only heard like these big words from the adults, and he's just.
I would like you to make a lie here.
Okay.
That was a very good preamble. So I'm going to say this is only a medium challenge, a normal challenge. You'll need a 6.
So my smart again and my line?
Just like last time, yeah.
Sure.
Well, that's more than enough.
I just want all the 12s.
As many people do when they're challenged with the legal reality of the situation, the woman looks absolutely furious. In fact, the knife is shaking. And for a moment, you're afraid she might just stab you. But the guy, the other person comes up and puts his hand on her shoulder and says, we can't fuck with the law. I mean, yeah, we could kill these kids, but do you want to kill a lawyer's kid? I mean, that would get us into some deep trouble. She comes to her senses and puts her hands up and backs off and puts the knife away and says, oh, okay, but he's got to at least pay us what he owes us for the trip so far. That's some coins each. That's fair.
Bard looks at Hubert and says, is that fair, or should I call my dad and we take them to the court and see a judge?
Hubert Hubert doesn't have hands. Hubert straightens himself up, and you get the impression if he had hands, he would be adjusting his vest and his hat. And he says, I don't think there's any reason to get your father in a situation like this. I will, of course, honor our contract, even though these two have not gone the entire journey. I admit the trip was longer than anticipated. He turns to Bard and he whispers, in my pouch is a small bag of coins. If you would take some coins from it to pay these two.
Yeah. He like nods and he reaches in.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Some mushy stuff, some dry stuff, more papers. But you find the bag.
Okay. And he doesn't pull like the bag of coin out because he's been told never to show how much wealth he has.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
So he kind of like opens the bag with one hand and pulls out just some of the coins that he thinks he can hold in his 10-year-old hand, and then like withdraws his whole hand and walks over to the lady, and he doesn't know how to count money that well yet. So he's just like, this looks to be fair, doesn't it?
She looks at it and she frowns a little bit and she says, well, that is some coins. And she takes
that was all I found.
Yeah, she seems satisfied by that amount. Excuse me. They count the coins in between them and they split them up. And then the large baggy man sighs and says, well, I guess we're walking all the way back to Boulder Town. This has almost been a complete waste of time. You kids should make sure that you double check any contracts you sign with the snake.
Looks and says, well, yeah, you know what? We're going to make sure my dad, the lawyer, does that. And meanwhile, just so you know, if you're going back by, and he points back to like where the tower was, like if you're going back in that direction, there was a tower there, and we didn't go to it because it didn't look safe for us. But I swear that I saw someone like digging there. It could be some loot for you.
They give each other a look of some kind that you can't quite decipher. And they say, and the woman says, "An old tower, you say, in the forest?"
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe we'll take a look. Thanks for the tip, kid.
no problem. I'm glad that we could all come to an agreement and every person is or party, because I don't know who here, but I'm glad everybody could be satiated.
They nod to you and take one last look over your group, and then head off down the road you came from. Once they're out of earshot, Hubert lets out a long hiss that you take as a sigh of relief.
Well, that was scary. Are all the adults like that?
No. Many of the adults are much, much worse, but many are fine individuals, and you'll meet plenty of them in Brewery. I hired those two because they have a reputation for being able to challenge any danger you would come across. To be quite frank, we're lucky that the mermaid didn't want to fight, because she could have easily killed us all without taking a deep breath.
Wait, that was a mermaid?
Of course it was a mermaid. What did you think she was?
That didn't look like Ariel.
Oh no. She was purple?
Is Ariel a friend of yours?
It's a princess mermaid from a show I watched.
Oh, like a musical.
Yeah. She's some.
Let me tell you, I do enjoy a good musical, and it's been a while since I've seen one. So if you have any songs to share, I'd love to hear them as we travel.
Bard puts his slingshot away and grabs his thing and starts thinking of the Under the Sea song, and starts singing it so terribly. Words are nowhere near what the song is, but he just is kind of starting to bop along and to the song.
All right. As you travel, Hubert picks up the beat and tries to match your lyrics, and before you know it, he's singing along with you. In just a horrible rendition of Under the Sea.
The only correct lyrics is Under the Sea, so we all just repeat that part.
Yeah. It's mostly 2 hours of you all just screaming under the sea, and then trying to rhyme things.
Everything. I was going to say every once in a while throw in Under the Sea, it's the place to be,
Right. Somehow pee gets mixed in there. Under the sea, we like to pee. It's awful. You spend the day traveling along this road, up hills and down hills, between hills. Once you pass a traveler in a wagon who is coming towards you, he looks very much like an adult from your world. He is an older man. He looks like he might be in his 60s or 70s. He has a beard. He's somewhat burly. The only thing that really distinguishes him from the adults, besides his outfit, is that he has kind of pointed ears. He is traveling in a cart, and the cart is pulled by a large oxen. It's full of firewoods and some other odds and ends in the back. He passes you, and Hubert calls out and says, "Good day to you, sir." And the man nods. It doesn't seem like he wants to say anything else.
Oh. That was like an actual person. Like a human.
You can try to talk to him if you want.
See his pointy ears? He looked like weird. Looked like that guy on that spaceship program.
Oh yeah. You think that's what he is? I give him the Vulcan V.
Yeah, do the old Vulcan. And Bart spits out, "Live prosperous and long."
Yeah.
The man kind of turns around in his seat as he passes, and he looks kind of startled. And he says, "Don't choke on your food, young fellows."
Well, now I'm worried I'm going to choke on my food.
It's good advice.
That seems like a
something-
very smart Vulcan.
It's something you all have in your thoughts as you enjoy lunch a little while later. The sky starts to get dark, and you are genuinely tired. You've been traveling all day. You took a few breaks, but you've been on the road for like 16 hours by the time. Luckily, before it's full dark, Hubert finds a crossroad that intersects the main road, and he leads you off it up a small hill to a stand of trees. And within those trees is a fire pit and a store of firewood and a little dugout in the hollow of the tree. And he says, "This is where we'll stay the night. I've camped here before, and it's a safe spot. You can see any danger coming from quite a ways away. And it's a known place, and people tend to respect it. I think we'll be fine here tonight."
Tara just
Another night
splats
away?
out into the dirt face first.
Yeah, you are all very tired. Hubert asked one of you to help him start the fire. He has matches in his pouch.
I go and assist with helping and starting the fire.
Okay.
Kodo moves away from starting the fire.
Yeah, if you're helping him start the fire, you can go ahead and write matches down on your character sheet. Yeah, it doesn't take. I don't know if you've lit a fire before, but if you haven't, Hubert is an expert for somebody who does not have hands and cannot do it himself. And he guides you through exactly what needs to be done. And before you know it, there is a nice fire going. One of the packages you've been carrying all day contains a small tarp that you can use to set up a shelter. And there are even 3 sleeping bags. And Hubert says, "Unfortunately, I only brought enough sleeping bags for the porters that I hired and myself, so you'll have to share. But I think if you spread them out, you should be okay. It won't get that cold tonight."
Well, usually we just sleep in a brother pile when we go camping. So I call top of the brother pile.
Oh,
Well,
fair.
I call the bottom. That's where it's warmest.
Yeah, all right.
I don't like the middle. You guys know that. That's not
You just
fair.
don't like the
And-
farts.
And he kicks the dirt.
No one likes your farts. Diesel.
Nobody-
likes
Where you get your
fart.
nickname?
Yeah, because you were cooking with gas. He
That's
says,
never going to catch on, Diesel.
"Yes, we will. Yes, it
It's
will.
like game time. Never going
Mm.
to catch on.
It will catch on."
Need a cool line like I have. It's story time.
That's not nobody. I don't want to say that's dumb, but it's not smart.
Listen, people like stories.
People like gas.
Bard like rolls his eyes and he just kind of starts looking around, and he's going to try to make like kind of a makeshift like doggy bed out of whatever he can find for Coda.
Okay. Yeah, there are there's plenty of leaves. Around deep into the roots of this tree, somebody has dug out a hollow, and it's quite large. It's big enough for all of you to kind of huddle in together pretty comfortably. And the ground is hard packed but smooth. And it looks like if you fill it with leaves and the sleeping bags, it's going to be a relatively comfortable place to stay the night.
Kodo will check the space under the hollow or whatever, and look for one of the highest up spots to go. Heavenly, and that's where he'll spin around like 3 or 4 times, checking it all over before he settles down.
Okay. Yeah, you find a comfortable spot that's in a good position. Feel like you can kind of look over everything, but still sleep comfortably.
I'd like to point out that is like almost on the opposite side of where Bard made the bed.
Right. Food is passed out, and some of you notice that while there's plenty of food for tonight, breakfast tomorrow is going to be a little sparse, and hopefully you'll get to this town before lunch.
While we're having our our dinner, Gator is quiet for a while, and then he kind of looks up and he says, "Well, what are we going to tell our parents? Like we'll be gone for 2 days now, probably 3 or 4 by the time we get back."
Well, we're definitely going to be in trouble. I mean, Bard got grounded just for not telling mom and dad that he was going down to the store. So
I say
I mean,
if Bard's
you two are
used to
gonna be-
getting grounded, we just have Bard tell another lie, because who's really gonna believe where we've
What do you
been?
mean a lie? I don't lie that much.
I think maybe our parents will just be happy that we come back, right?
No, you know they're going to be furious.
Well, I mean they'll be mad too.
Well, of course they're going to be mad when they find out it's our fault, Diesel.
Huh? How is it our
Yes.
fault? It's not my fault.
What do you mean? Yes, it is.
It's
I
your
had to
fault
go
for
get
getting
everybody
lost.
to save you.
Well, you didn't have to do that. I was fine.
No, you weren't.
Huh.
You were dead.
Yeah, but I was fine as a ghost. Guys, I was a ghost and I was doing all kinds of cool ghost stuff.
So what? We were just supposed to say, "Oh, sorry, Diesel's dead."
Well, the nice thing about being dead is you can't get in trouble.
I don't want to be a twin. I want to be a triplet. Twins are creepy. Triplets are cool. You can't die.
Especially with him.
You all bicker and complain and worry, but there is a deep-seated concern that's hard to voice. That are you going to be able to find your way home again? And if you do, yeah, how are your parents going to react? Before you can really resolve these questions in any way, though, you all fall asleep as the hill gets darker and darker. In the morning, you wake.
Oh, sorry, it is top of the hour. This might be a good breaking point.
That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. So we'll be back here in about 10 minutes. So make it for those on the West Coast, 7:15. We will be back.
All right, sounds good.
All right, I
All
will
right.
see you guys then. Okay, we are back from our break. Sorry, it took a little bit longer. We were actually talking to each other and getting each other's friends area filled out with the friends types and stuff like that. So we got that all taken care of. So I am gonna let Jake take things away.
All right. Breakfast is sparse. It's not as much food as any of you would like, but there is enough for everybody to eat something. As you sit out back on the road, you immediately notice that there are more travelers today. You pass by other people, a pair of mermaids who wave to you as they pass by. More of the human-like people as well. There is what looked to you to be a pair of foxes, both dressed in fancy hats, who pass you on the road running quickly, and some other people as well. It's warm out, it's a nice day, and there is a kind of a salty breeze in the air, which makes sense as you come over the hill and you can see the ocean in front of you, spread out below you. You are on a hill that overlooks a small town. The road leads down into the town. There is a gate going across the road with a giant banner that says "Town of Brewery Bend," and then under that, in another banner, it says "Welcome, contestants for the spelling bee."
Well, the ocean. Wait, we don't live by the ocean.
Yeah, didn't you know? Hubert says Brewery Bend is right on the edge of the ocean.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
our-
I thought
Far
you
away
all
are
were,
we?
I thought you all were from this area.
I
no.
thought so too, but now I don't know.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure there's somebody in this town who can open that door of yours so you can get whatever it is that's important on the side of it. You don't have to tell me what it is. That's none of my business. But if you need somebody to sell it, please let me know.
Some luxury real estate.
Mm-hmm. He leads you down into the town. It is an old-fashioned looking town. The buildings are made out of stone and wood. They're clean. They're well built, but they all look like something you would see in a video game, an old medieval style video game. The road has turned from dirt to kind of a cobblestone within town, and the town itself is built on a hill where the road slowly winds down to the beach far below. There are lots of different people in this town. You see people like you have never seen before, and to illustrate that, I have an illustration. As you travel through the town, you see all kinds of people. You see mermaids, some of whom are walking around on legs, but some of them have long fish tails, and they slither around town in the same way that Hubert slithers around in his tail. There are some uncomfortably disturbing looking squid people whose heads split into tentacles. They seem to be mostly working down toward the docks and carrying boxes. There are several human looking people with pointed ears, several different kind of animals, some of whom wear clothes and some of whom don't, who are traveling around. You notice that they all seem to talk. There are some enormous looking people who kind of have bear-like features. Several of them are wearing heavy armor and carrying weapons, and Hubert nods to them warily and says those are fairy soldiers. There's some smaller people who are even shorter than you are with pointed green ears who appear to be wearing gas masks, and Hubert calls them goblins. There are also some rat people who don't appear to be like the other animals. They're walking around and they have hands. And Hubert scowls at them and shakes his head and says, "Stay away from those pirates."
Pirates.
Those are the kind of people you see in the town of Brooklyn. The town is crowded. There's people everywhere. There's lots of commerce going on. There's an open air market. And everywhere you look, there's people chattering about the spelling bee, how they're excited they are about the spelling bee, how they're here to compete for the spelling bee. There are lots and lots and lots of people wearing pointy hats and robes and carrying books, and these seem to be the spelling bee contestants. Hubert leads you to a warehouse about halfway down the hill, and he speaks to the foreman of the warehouse and shows you where you can leave the boxes that you've been hauling, and you are all grateful to finally put down these packages that you've been carrying for the last day and a half. Now, I think the terms of your employment are complete, so it's time for me to pay you your wages. I think we agreed on some coins each.
Yep.
All right. If one of you will reach into my pouch and pull out my coin purse.
Yeah. Gator runs over and does it.
Okay. You are so excited to be scrounging around in the snake's pouch. You pull out a bag of coins, which is bigger than the one before, and it clanks and clatters in your hands. Hubert instructs you to each take some coins out of the bag.
Like a handful?
Just some. The way he says some leads you to believe that when he says some, there's like some specified amount that means.
He's going to take them one at a time out of the bag until he starts looking like he's unhappy.
After you take some, he nods and says, "Now take some for your friends."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll start handing out coins.
All right. Each of you can change your coin status, and you'll find your coin status on the first page of your character sheet in the bottom. You can change your coin status from none to some.
Bard looks it over and he's like, "This isn't like any coins I've seen."
The coins are interesting because they're not all the same denomination. Some of them are large and silver-ish looking. Some of them are smaller and kind of dull copper. There are some coins that appear to be gold coins that have giant holes in the middle of them. The large silvery coins have a face on the side of them, much like we have faces of presidents on our currency in the U.S. But this person is wearing a mask. They look a little like Batman. It's a little strange.
But guys,
Batman money.
I mean, Batman.
Whoa. Well, that's cool. I wish we had Batman on our money. That would be so much better.
Oda asks Herbert, how do you carry these coins?
Well, I carry them in my pouch.
And I have a pouch?
You know what? I think I think for a lot of members of the animal tribes like us, it's good to have a pouch of some kind. I'm sure there's a shop in town that sells pouches. In fact, Hubert extends his neck and looks out over the market, and he says, I see a market stall right over there that sells pouches. I bet you could buy some for some coins and have some coins left over.
Okay. Oda turns to Tara. Can you help with getting pouch or some coins?
Of course, Coda. It's kind of exhausted, but it levers herself up and goes to walk next to him.
Okay. As you two head over into the market, Hubert looks at the rest of you and says, "Well, you've been exemplary employees. If you need a letter of recommendation, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'll be staying in the inn here in town until the spelling bee business is resolved. So I assume you're going to compete in the competition.
You said
win,
somebody there could help us, right?
I think it's likely. I think it's likely. The spelling bee is starting today, and well, that's not true. The spelling bee has been going on for several days, and it will go on for at least one more day before it leaves Brewery Bend and moves on to the next town. It's an ongoing competition. You know, as students, you understand.
Where would
hope
we
you
go to sign up if we want to compete?
Hubert cranes his neck again, and then with his head points, and he says, "On the far side of the market, near the big tent. The tent is where they're holding the spelling bee. And you should be able to sign up there."
Okay.
I want if it's already ongoing, I want to go over there and just see what's going on with it. Like
Okay.
watch the competition, watch around a
Okay.
bit.
Yeah,
Sure.
I follow along.
All right. Hubert waves goodbye to you all with his tail and repeats that he'll be staying at the end if you have any more business. And to let him know if you win, because he always loves a winner. In the market, Coda and Tara?
Yep.
Come to a stall that is also being operated by a snake. The snake is much smaller and is wearing a snake dress, you think? That's what that's supposed to be? Their skin is mostly white and with a kind of a greenish yellow underbelly, and they let out a hiss as they see you, and they say, "Pouches? Pouches for the wolf?
What?
Would you like a pouch, young wolf? Just some coins."
Yes. Pouch. So I can put some coins in pouch. So some coins for some coin.
Well, let me show you the pouches I have. I think you'll find them very nice. The snake proceeds to, with her snoot, point out several pouches on the table that she thinks will fit you. And indeed, they look well made. You can see how one of them would connect around your neck and hang down from your neck, and another one would connect over your back like a backpack.
So Tara's kind of crouching down. So could he try some on?
Oh, certainly. Will you help it?
Of course. Does it? Then just kind of follow Coda's lead if one's interested and try and see how well it fits.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Coda's going to try for something around the neck.
Okay. Yeah, you find a well-made pouch to your liking that hangs around your neck, and it is designed with a flap on the front that you can open with your mouth to expose what's in the pouch without everything spilling out.
Some.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little awkward to dig into the pouch with your mouth, but you can do that too.
Hey, now I have a place to keep squeaky toy and my food and some coin.
Yep. So the snake asked for some coins.
So I give some coin. Do I still have coins, or all my
Yep.
coins gone?
All right, so here's how this works. You always have an amount of coins that is either none, some, lots, or tons. And in this case, you have some, which means you can buy things that cost some coins. And you can keep buying things that cost some coins until you buy something that the GM feels will reduce your coin level. In this case, I don't feel like purchasing this pouch will reduce your coin level, so your coin level remains at some.
Okay.
As you shop around the game, you will find items that require different coin levels to purchase.
It's
but
kind
this
of a
purchase,
vibe economy.
It's kind of a vibe economy. This purchase does not leave you coinless. You still have some coins, which fit neatly into your pouch.
Okay. Does this take up one of my slots on my stuffs thing, or does it just go into my back list?
In fact, it does take up one of your slots, and here's why. It is a special pouch. All pouches are special. So this pouch takes up a head slot. We can say it takes up a chest slot. Since you already have that. And in addition to holding stuff, which is what it would do, it gives you +1 hungry die. And the hungry special die is a special die that allows you to carry an extra food item. Normally, you can always only carry one food item, but with each hungry die, you can carry an extra food item. The rest of you have gone over to the spelling bee tent?
Yep.
Okay. As you approach the tent, you see that there's a small line. There are several people there, wearing their wizard hats and wearing their wizard robes. Some of them are carrying books. Some of them are carrying staffs. One of them appears to have a bird perched on your shoulder, but the longer you look, the more you're convinced that the bird is also a wizard of some kind. Somebody is coming down the line, a young man with a scraggly little teenager beard and a big puffy wizard hat, and he comes to you and he says, "You're all here for the spelling bee too, correct?"
Maybe.
Of course you are. I mean, I can tell you're students. You're younger than most of the students we get, but talent knows talent. So is it just the four of you, or do you have any more in your party?
We've got a couple of friends that are in the market right now.
All right. He passes you his clipboard, and he says, "Write your names down here. I'll sign you up for the next round. You know, the grand prize for winning the spelling bee is lots of coins."
Bard grabs it and writes Bard.
Diesel takes the clipboard and kind of looks back and forth between Bard and Gator nervously and says, I'm not good at spelling. Like,
neither am I.
Like, Bard, you're the brains of the operation, and Gator's the brawn. I'm the looks.
Gator's the brawn with his one strong die and more smart dice than the two of you combined.
Diesel hands the clipboard to DJ.
So is the guy still there? And
Yeah,
I ask him, what exactly all pertains in this spelling bee?
Well, you know how to spell, right?
Well, yeah, but I just want to make sure that, I'm not signing up for something that, I don't think I'd be able to completely, since there's different levels of spelling and schooling you go to for spelling, I want to make sure that I'm signing up for something that's not too overwhelming.
All right. Well, this is just the qualifiers. Obviously, if you win in Brewery Bend, you get to advance onto Boulder Town. And if you win in Boulder Town, you get to advance onto the Royal Academy, and that's where the serious stuff happens. I don't want to say anything bad, but a lot of the people in line here couldn't spell to save their asses. We've got some people here with some really questionable spelling skills. So I think pretty much anybody has a shot. But if you're a student and you have some experience, even if you're pretty young, I think you got a real shot. I mean, at the very least, you could impress the proctor, and who knows? Yesterday, we had somebody come through, a complete amateur. They didn't even have a spelling book, and they walked away with lots of coins. So it could definitely happen. All you got to do is you'll go in with a group, and you'll each have your chance to spell, and then the person who impresses the proctor most is going to walk away. And if you don't impress the proctor, you're out for that round.
Sure, why not? Nothing really to lose.
All right. Now you've got a spelling book, right? You've all got spelling books with you?
I left all my books at home.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We hear that a lot because a lot of people, they don't plan on competing. Then they just get caught up in the moment. You know how it is. It's kind of a festival atmosphere. I mean, we've even got somebody selling caramel apples. So, it's that kind of joint. That's okay. We've got some spelling books you can use. We'll hand them out when it's your turn.
Okay.
He looks over at Siobhan and waves the clipboard toward her. You too?
Sure, why not?
All right. All right. Good luck to you. We've got we've got we've got a buffet set up. So once your friends get signed up, you can all go through the tent flaps, enjoy the buffet, and we'll call your names when it's your round.
Can we watch other people competing?
We don't. The current round's already going, and you're probably going to be the next round. So we don't let people in the tent while the competition's happening. You understand? We don't want you getting information that you can use in your round.
Okay.
We try to keep it fair.
Okay.
Now, after your round is over, if you feel up to it, you're welcome to stay and watch the rest of the contenders. All right. Good luck.
Did you say there was food?
There's food if you're competing. Yeah, right through the tent.
Oh.
Do Coda and Tara join the rest of the group?
Sure, I'll join the group.
All
Yeah,
right.
once we get their way over there.
You show up. Coda shows up with a jaunty new pouch. And the attendant turns to both of you with his clipboard and says, "You too? You're here for the spelling bee? You're going to sign up?"
Okay, quick glance over at the others as a like for confirmation. Like, is this something they're already doing?
Diesel is giving you a big thumbs up.
Like, yeah, no, it's just like, yes, of course, of course.
All right. How about you, little wolf?
Coda currently has a smarts of 0, so I don't see this as being a competition that he's going to have any ability to do. A few barks and that's about it, and he's out. So not really.
That's just fine. I should point out that at the beginning of this adventure, our banked actions and our restore rolls reset. So if you used restore rolls during the last game, those have now been restored and you can use them again. If you had banked actions during the last game, those are gone. So if Coda does want to make a restore roll to regain some lost core dice, he can. And in fact, that's probably a good idea whether or not you participate anyway.
Yeah. I figured that we were going to stay at an inn tonight and then I'd get some sort of recovery at that point, right?
Well, maybe. You might be disappointed when we stay at an inn. I'm sorry, that was way too cryptic. All right, you are welcome to stay at an inn. Here's how inns work. You can stay at an inn. You won't recover anything unless you pay some coins to stay at an inn. At which point you'll automatically restore one lost score. So it's always a good idea to use your restore rolls when you have.
Okay. So I guess I should try and a restore roll.
Yeah.
What I roll for the restore? Just
you were going to roll your brave dice. If you have any nap special dice, you can add those.
Okay. I have 2 dice of brave. Eight.
All right. You need a 5 or better to restore a die, so you do restore 1 lost core die.
Okay. I have to choose between
my. Yeah.
So I have to choose between restoring my smart or my strength. Okay.
That's right. And anybody else who wants to make a restore roll, if you're missing core dice, now's a great time.
Yeah, we've got enough time for us. I guess I'll give Tara's a shot on here. All right, so of course it's just great brave. Oh, hey, take it in.
That's a success. Get back a die.
Strong's back to 2.
All right. The line moves forward and you are ushered into the tent. This is not the enormous tent where the spelling bee is happening, but a sub tent connected to it. There are several people milling around, chatting, talking, enjoying a drink, enjoying the buffet, and what a buffet it is. There is an enormous table covered in ice, and on the table is a huge selection of sushi. Just the most sushi you have ever seen in your life. Rolls and slices, uh, deep fried squid and octopus. Behind the buffet table is a pair of mermaids who are slicing fish and handing out plates of sushi.
Is sushi the one that increases your smart?
Smart dice. So yes, if you like, each of you can take a piece of sushi. Can take a sushi food item.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll take some of the sushi.
Sounds like a good menu to work with.
So is there a way for Bard to like take a piece and eat it now and then like take a napkin and like wrap it up for later?
That's a great question. So here's how food items work. When you eat a food item, it adds an appropriate die to your next roll. And that's your next roll if you make that roll in a minute, or if you make that roll later in the game. So you can scarf down a piece of sushi and get the extra smart die to your next roll, and then grab another piece of food as well. And it may be that your next roll isn't something that would use that smart die, in which case it would be wasted, but you would have it locked in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
I think you should all do that. I think that's a great idea. Stuff your faces with fish.
I just remember you saying we could only like carry one food item, so
that's a good point. And some of you may already have a food item that you may want to hold on to.
I do. I have a rare one, but I will take the or eat the sushi now though for my next roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sushi going to spare.
The flying fish, the flying salmon, is that considered food?
Yes, it is. That's a fish food item, but it is a food item.
So then I couldn't take the six.
Yeah, you could scarf down the flying salmon or pieces to make room for the sushi if you want.
Well, couldn't he hold on to the flying salmon and eat the sushi now?
I think that would be okay. Technically, the flying salmon is already in your possession, but if you wanted to do it like that, I think that would be fine.
I just wanted to understand how the rules worked. So if he already has a food, he couldn't grab another food to eat right away then, normally, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. But in this specific situation, I think that would be okay.
So to get the wrapped up sushi for later, Bard is gonna take his flying salmon, hold it out to anyone else in the party. You guys want this? I kind of need it.
If you don't want to use it now, your brother will take it since he's not going to compete in the spelling bee because he's done.
Okay.
I'll hold on to it for you, bro.
No, thanks. You're the best.
You know he won't eat it because he does not like fish. All right. As you were stuffing your faces with salmon, and I'm sorry, was there something else?
No, I was just going to say Bart just hands the fish to.
Okay. As you were stuffing your faces with salmon, there is the sound of an electrical zap, and then some cheering from inside the tent. And a moment later, several people dressed in robes and hats come through the flap into the buffet tent where you are. And they do not look great. They are burnt and fried. One of them is rubbing their eyes. One of them is limping. One of them is missing an arm, and where their arm was is a big floppy tentacle. The young man you met in line picks up his clipboard and calls out, "All right, we need Bard and how do you say this? Siobhan Siobhan and Tara and Coda and DJ and Herbert and Maleficent and Chumuma. 3 people around you stand up and head toward the tent flap leading into the larger tent.
I'll follow them.
I cautiously follow them.
Tara
Alright.
follows, but she's kind of staring at the damaged people that came the other direction.
They're all alive, but they do not look happy. You enter the tent flap, and this is a large circus-style tent. In the middle is an arena, and around it is stadium seating. In the arena, there are, 1, 2, 3, 5. Is Gator participating?
No, Gator's sitting this one out. He's hanging out with Diesel.
Yeah, you got to keep Diesel company.
Yeah.
There are 8 pedestals around the edge of the arena. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you each to place yourselves around the edge of the action board, in whatever space you want, but put some space between each other.
Okay, on any side.
On any side. And you are not alone. The other competitors who came into the tent with you are also there. And they are a young woman, a teenager who looks kind of dopey and is wearing glasses and a big red hood, a fox in a bow tie and a wizard hat, and a very serious looking fairy. They glance at you. The fairy nods at you all. The teen girl opens up an impressively large looking book and starts muttering to herself. It looks like she's trying to do some last minute studying, brushing up on her vocabulary, maybe. A proctor steps out.
Yes, I always wanted the light on.
A squid person steps out. He is wearing what looks like a relatively fancy set of robes. His squid tentacles are kind of moving around above his head. And he addresses the crowd and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the next round of our contest. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 new contestants, and I hope they do better than our last ones. Is one of these going to be the Breviary Bin champion?" And the crowd claps and cheers. There's 100 people sitting in the bleachers, maybe more. They're clearly very excited. The proctor hands each of you a small book. It is a leather-bound volume. It's relatively slim. And on the cover, it just says spelling book. And if you look there in the handout section, you can see the spelling book. The proctor says, "The rules of our contest today are simple, and the winner will receive lots of coins. Today's contest is going to be overseen by the spelling bee." And as he says that, from the top of the tent, from the hole in the top of the tent, an enormous bee descends into the arena. It is gigantic. It is the size of a cow. It is wearing red robes and holding a staff in one of its claws and a spell book in the other. It looks at you with its dispassionate bee eyes and lets out a soft buzzing noise as it hovers in the center of the earth. The proctor continues. Each one of our contestants will take a turn each round reciting a spell from their spell book. They must target either themselves or another contestant with the spell, never the spelling bee. At the end of each round, the spelling bee will eliminate the contender that does not successfully cast a spell, or the contender who casts the least successful spell. The last contender standing will be our champion. Reminder, this is not a battle to the death. Contenders can leave the arena at any time if they choose. The crowd is very excited, and maybe you're all a little confused. You quickly paw through these books, and you can see what appears to be a list of spells. So here's how this works. This is a fight like other fights we've had, except instead of attacking your enemies, the goal is to just successfully cast spells. So there is a list of spells you can cast that is contained in this book. If you look at the spells, they each have a name and a short description, and then a challenge number. And the challenge number is what you have to roll with your smart dice in order to successfully cast the spell. You have to meet this target number or beat it. And then under that is the spell's effect. The spell's challenge numbers, depending on the spell, range from 6 all the way to 15. So some of these are quite tough. The higher challenge the spell you cast, the more successful it will be considered. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
So just to confirm, it's basically cast the toughest one you think you can, and if you fail, you're out, or if everyone else does a tougher one than you and everyone succeeds, then you're out.
Yes, or in the instance that several of you fail, which is very possible, the spelling bee will decide who sucks the most. All right. So this is a normal fight, so you can do things you would do in normal fights. You're getting the distinct impression that you're not supposed to attack each other, but that's certainly on the table if you want to. That may or may not get you disqualified. You can also move around if you want, although you are each standing on like a pedestal, so this is obviously a designated spot. You can build an action chain here, and the other casters will have the chance to build a monster chain. So the proctor raises his hand and says, "Let's begin." Who would like to take the first action?
I think Art wants to go first.
Okay.
Nobody else has any.
I mean, you said it, you get it.
Okay.
All the contenders are staring at you.
So we can move like normal, right?
If you like, yep.
So I'm going to just move one spot to my left. Then I am going to attempt to see the future.
All right. That is the third spell on our list. The challenge for that is 9. Now you can cast a spell on yourself or on another target.
I would like to target, I think Siobhan is the orange-headed child above me.
Yep.
So
all right.
I have one smart dice and the sushi dice, so that's going to be 2, 6.
All right. Let's see if you can do it. You read this text of the spell, and it is a combination of words and symbols that you just don't understand. There might be more spelling to this spellcasting than you had anticipated. But you read the spell, and nothing seems to happen. And you're not sure what was really supposed to happen, but clearly you failed.
Bard thinks he's successful, so he takes a bow.
Yeah, you're not. It's not clear that you didn't cast a spell. Actually, the crowd lets loose a confused round of clapping. They're not sure what happened. Who would you like to go next?
I think we will let Tara. No, sorry, we'll wait on Tara. Who's the other one that's competing? Is that DJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ and Coda are both here too.
We'll set up.
Okay. I am going to cast Is there a mermaid in the group? No.
No. So at the bottom, you have a fairy who is an enormous 7-foot tall armored warrior that looks like they might be descended from a bear. On the left side, you have a young woman in a red hood, and on the right side, you have a fox in bow tie.
Well, I was thinking of if there was a mermaid, I wanted to cast legs. There's no mermaid, so I think that point. I'm just sort of tactically.
It works in reverse though too. You can give yourself a tail.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Mermaid.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll go ahead and cast legs.
Okay. So that'll be your smart dice plus your bonus die from the sushi.
Yep. Oh, I misrolled.
Yeah, try. Go ahead and try again.
There we go, 11. Helps if I hit D instead of S.
So this spell targets you. It targets the caster.
Yep.
You cast the spell, and it's kind of amazing. You follow the symbols and you say the words out loud, just like you would read anything else. But there's a moment where it kind of clicks and the symbols start to make sense with you, and all of a sudden you can feel reality rippling around you, and it's like you've tapped into an energy source you did not realize was there before, and there is a startling sharp pain in your legs. And what are you wearing on your legs?
Ripped jeans.
Well, now they're really ripped as the jeans explode off you as your legs are transformed into a long, sensuous mermaid tail.
I freak out for a moment, screaming, "My favorite jeans! My favorite jeans!"
So as a note, this spell lasts until you choose to dismiss it. And while the spell is cast on you, you gain +X swim special dice. And since this is rank 1, +1 swim special die.
Okay.
The crowd lets out a cheer. You hear one female voice scoff and say, "Well, that's cultural appropriation." But otherwise, people seem excited. This is the first success of the round. The spelling bee nods to you. Who do you choose to go next?
I will have Tara go next.
Okay. There is an action chain bonus now. +1 action chain bonus.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that on here. All right. Let's see. So altogether that'll be 4d6. It's definitely a surprise at the change on there. She kind of flipped through the books, but she's older than them. She's a better reader.
Yeah.
Feeling kind of confident on it here. And
some of these spells look kind of suspicious.
Yeah. But, like, let's do something to make Gator happy. If I'm not participating, might be able to watch.
Okay.
Speak of snakes.
Oh, boy. Okay. You'll need a 15 to cast this.
I got 4 dice for it. Let's see what happens.
Totally doable.
Yep.
$18.
Ooh, okay. Let me get you some snakes. I'd like you to roll a die first of all. We'll just roll a single 6-sided die. What'd you get? I'm not looking at.
6.
That's a 6. So I'm guessing I get all 3.
Yeah, you get 3 snakes. I'm going to place these on the board, and you tell me where you want. Maybe you can move them yourself.
Yeah, no, I don't have movement perms, but I think it's just kind of scatter them around a bit on there. Not really next to anyone, since, we're not supposed to be moving or probably attacking.
Okay.
And they can't go next to anyone.
Right. All right. So I assume you saw what the snakes do.
Yep, they are basically trap squares.
They are exactly trap squares. Are you happy with these locations?
That sounds good. So she's probably just chanting, hissing a bit of stuff on there, and the snake's just poofing in nothingness. She actually gets really excited. It's like, Gator, check it out.
Yeah, you are not the only ones that are excited. The crowd goes nuts. This is, for this level of spell casting, this is an impressive spell. The snakes themselves look kind of confused. They don't know what you're doing here. You're not sure if they're real snakes like Hubert or if they're like magical creations, but they're looking around in confusion, not sure what to do. One of them is wearing what you would describe as like a snake sweater. Another one of them is smoking a cigarette.
That was
but there's
a bad example.
There's lots of clapping. There's lots of yelling. The action chain advances. Who would you like to go next?
Let's see. So that's 1, 2. All right. So that was Bard, EJ.
On your
Siobhan.
team, yep, Siobhan and Coda.
Let's see if we can get max it out for Coda on here.
Okay, a quick question about ranges. Are ranges diagonal or no?
Ranges are diagonal.
They are.
Yes.
So if something is 4 spaces, then you can go 4 spaces diagonally.
That is correct.
Okay. Cool. That's a big range.
And line of sight should not be a concern.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm actually going to. Okay. So now, I have 3 action dice.
You have a +2 bonus, but you also have, if you ate some sushi, you also have the bonus die for that.
Oh. Okay. I see. So,
yes, it'll be 3.
Tara already has like a smart of 2 then.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to try to cast Mud Coffin on myself.
Oh, interesting. Okay. As you can see, Mud Coffin is a challenge of 12. It has both a benefit and a drawback.
Yeah. And it looks like we don't need to. Probably rather have the armor than the ability to move right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you'll necessarily have to move during this fight.
Yeah,
the extra armor might be handy if that snake decides to go after you.
Yeah, so 46. There's nothing. Oh, whew, barely.
Wow. All right, you succeed. The words spill out of you. It's almost surprising how easy it is. It's almost as if it almost feels like you could do this your entire life and you just never realized it. In a way, it feels like dribbling a basketball or like riding a bike. It's very natural. The words spill out of you. You can feel the magic taking effect. And then suddenly mud just surges up from the ground and solidifies around you in a pillar that pins you in. You're not crushed, but it's difficult to move. You're not completely covered. Your head is free. One of your arms is free, but you are encased in a muddy vice.
Yep.
The crowd again goes wild. Several people chant, "Mud Coffin, Mud Coffin, Mud Coffin." And that, of course, advances the action chain. Who would you like to go next?
Coda is the last person in our party, right?
Yep.
All right.
5 dice dog.
All right. Where's this list of spells that we can choose from?
All right. If you look under the book icon on the right-hand menu and look down under the character sheets, you will see the handouts.
Oh, okay. Spelling book. I got it. All right. Imaginary friend or a fire hat? Let's try fire hat.
Okay. You'll need to choose a target who is within 4 spaces.
Okay, so Let's choose the fairy warrior guy. He's
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one you want to piss off.
All right. So I roll 1 die for my smarts and 3 dice for the action chain. So that's 4 dice.
Plus, if you ate some sushi, you'll get to roll a food die.
Okay. So 5 dice.
Right? Well, that's a clear success. So a few things happen here. First of all, because you're casting this on another person, they get to try to resist the spell. So the fairy sees you casting and he sees you looking at you, so he turns towards you and he thumps his chest. He's clearly ready to take your spell. You successfully cast the spell. The magic starts to envelop him. You see him squint his eyes and try to resist, but he only rolls. So when you try to resist a spell, you roll your smart dice against your target's roll. The fairy did not succeed. The spell erupts around his head. His head is engulfed in fire. He lets out a rumbling growl, and you see his whole body tense. And he stares across the field of battle at you and says, "Finally cast."
And Coda remembers an ancient song from when he was working with all the military people. Fires burning, draw nearer, draw nearer.
So the mechanical effect of fire hat is that the target, this fairy, will roll 1 less die for all actions for the rest of the fight. He's also now on fire, which we'll cover. Who does Coda choose to go next out of the 3 other contenders?
Yes, Coda will choose the warrior, which is on fire now.
All right. The warrior nods and raises his own spell book and starts to chant a spell. He is trying. It's not clear to you what he is trying to cast, but he does not succeed. He winces as the fire continues to burn on his head and lets his spellbook fall to his feet and crosses his arm in disappointment as he looks over to the young woman in the red hood. The young woman in the red hood smiles and she pulls out a dagger from inside her cloak and she cuts the skin of her palm and lets blood flow from the palm, which she rubs onto both hands before pressing it against her book and trying to cast a spell. Which succeeds, and to the delight of the crowd, sorry, let me find a token for this. For the delight of the crowd, a small creature appears on the ground in front of her. You hear somebody in the crowd whisper, "That's her imaginary friend," and that is the spell she cast. Finally, it is the fox's turn. The fox looks very nervous. His eyes dart from side to side, and you hear him whispering under his breath, "You can do this, you can do this, you can do this." He tries to cast a spell, but whatever he was trying to cast does not work. It fizzles in front of him, and he lets out a sharp growl and tosses his book to the ground with his mouth. He's clearly upset. That is the end of the first round. The spelling bee looks back and forth between all of the contenders and settles his eyes on the fairy. And the spelling bee raises his staff and there is a spark of lightning and the fairy is hit and falls to one knee, but he tolerates the pain as he nods his head, and with his head still on fire, he moves off the board and back into the tent. He's been eliminated. It is the beginning of the next round, and I believe it is Bard.
Yep. So our action chain resets.
Or the action chain has reset. Is somebody interested in trying to interrupt Bard? Or is Bard taking our first action?
Yes, I'm taking my first action. All right, seeing what Coda did makes Bard giggle. So he is going to try and do the same spell, Fire Hat,
Okay.
but on the girl with the red cloak.
Okay.
Only have one smart dice, so I need really good.
Close. You feel like you're closer to understanding how this works, but it didn't work this time.
Good try, Bard.
Bard thinks he's successful, and he bows again.
You can do it, bro. Who does Bard choose to go next?
I'm gonna throw it to Siobhan this time.
Let's see. That's rough because I only have one die this time.
This is true. Keep in mind,
Oh.
while what they are expecting you to do is cast spells, this is a fight, and you have the full number of options you can take during a fight. You could try to use one of your special dice. You could bank it. You could also bank an action, or you could simply attack somebody and see what happens.
Yeah, the concern though is that, I mean, if I didn't cast a spell at the end of the round, then I could get.
That is possible.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that failing to even attempt to cast a spell might be looked more harshly than simply failing. So
That seems likely.
So I'm going to also cast or attempt to cast Imaginary Friend.
Okay.
And I'm just going to try to make it look like an even cooler little imaginary friend than the other girls. All right. Nope. Failed worse than Bard.
Yeah, this is not as easy as you thought it might be. Whatever that older girl was doing, it was harder than that.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you like to go next?
The sushi special dice was only for the very first round of the combat? Or?
Yep. Food only lasts for the next roll you take.
Okay. All right, I'll toss it to DJ.
Okay, so let me look at a few.
You know what? As DJ is examining his spell book, the girl with the glasses and the hood says, excuse me, if you're not going to go either. And she tries to interrupt you.
Okay. I'm rolling what to defend?
You will roll your brave dice. She rolls 2 dice and she got a 7.
I got a 7 too.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, so she fails to interrupt you.
Fails to interrupt me. So, because of that, I am going to move. I don't like being interrupted while trying to think. I run up to her, and I'm just sort of, headbanging my way up there and just sort of headbang and like mosh slam into her. So I'm going to do like a headbutt move.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and roll. This is an attack, so go ahead and roll the attack and your strong dice and add your headbutt die. Are you using your weapon as well, or is this an unarmed attack?
No, this is an unarmed attack.
Okay.
It's just going to be 2 dice.
Well,
Oh, oh no, it did. I got sick.
yep. Well, she sees you coming, and she is not expecting you to attack her, but she stiffens and tries to step behind her imaginary friend, but it doesn't work. You catch her and headbutt her.
Yes.
All right. There is a gasp from the crowd, and several people go like, "Can he do that?" And one person goes, "That's not fair." And then one other person who may or may not be Diesel goes, "Hell yeah, headbutt her." So she loses I believe that's brave and
smart.
Yeah. She looks stunned. She grabs her head and she's rocking back and forth as she's lost a brave and a smart die. Who do you choose to go next? You have created an action chain.
I am gonna have Tara go next.
Okay.
Because initially, I mean, she's kind of in shock at that too. It's just like DJ.
I just sort of go. She started first.
It's she kind of did just. But then, okay, then kind of she flips through the book real fast. So technically, it only targets friends. Well, no. Well, I mean, that's only in the description. It actually just says to the target. So she's actually going to go ahead and use refresh over towards the girl in the red hood.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
like sorry, just read.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll need a 9 or better.
Well, and I got 3 dice for this, so I think she gets her brave dice back.
I think she does. Not her smart die, though.
Well, I mean, I'm apologizing. I'm not just giving her the win.
All right. Yeah. You cast this spell, and she chooses not to resist it. White light envelops her body, and the crowd goes, "Oh!" And somebody goes, "That's good sportsmanship." The girl looks over at you, though, and she kind of wipes away the tears from her eyes and glares at you and says, "I don't need your help."
It's not.
Oh, Nick, I don't know if you can hear this. I think I'm the only one who can hear you.
Oh, yeah. If someone else is talking, I'm not hearing them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just realized that Nick's
No
been
worries.
talking. I can hear him in the other room. All right. That was a successful spell. Who does Tara choose to go next? Neither Coda or the other 2 contenders have gone.
I mean, well, she did insist that she didn't want help, so Coda.
Right. And there is a +2 action chain bonus now.
+2 action chain. So 3 dice. Okay. Coda is going to look at the fox, and he's going to cast that fire hat again because it seemed to be a good choice.
Okay.
So smarts for 1 die, 2 dice action chain, so 3 dice.
Right. The fox doesn't even realize you're trying to cast a spell on him until it's almost too late. He tries to resist and lets out a yelp as the spell fizzles around him. He managed to resist your spell. Yeah, just barely. He looks at you in a panic and nods his head and says, "Hey, I wasn't trying to cast a spell on you. Don't come after me."
But the fox.
All right. So that spell was not successful, or that spell was resisted. It's still counts for this contest as being successful. Who do you
Okay.
choose to go next between the fox and the girl?
I'll choose the girl.
All right. The girl looks pissed. She looks directly at DJ in front of her, and she slams her book shut, and she glares at you, and she says, "This is absolute bullshit," and she lunges at you with her dagger and tries to attack you.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll to defend. You'll add your tough dice plus any armor you have.
Oh, by one I
Oh
missed.
no. Oh no. She lunges at you and partially trips over her invisible friend, and her knife jams right into your new tail. You lose a tough die.
Oh.
There is an even bigger gasp of the crowd now. And the girl looks around. She's kind of all of a sudden realized what she's done. And she says, "No, no, no, he hit me first. He hit me first." She chooses the fox to go next. The fox screws up all his courage, and using the action chain that he has just accumulated, he casts refresh, and he targets it across the arena onto DJ to cure your lost tough dice.
Okay.
And the crowd seems to like that. There's a lot of clapping and a lot of calls of good sports and hooray, Mr. Fox. The spelling bee looks around. He looks down at Bard. He looks at Siobhan, but he focuses on the girl, and the girl nods her head. And the girl shakes her head and goes, "No, no, that's not fair. He hit me first." But that doesn't save her, as the spelling bee's lightning strikes out, and she is knocked to the ground. And somebody carries her off into the tent. It is the top of the next round. And Bard has the first action. Although there's always the opportunity for somebody to try to interrupt you.
I think you have it out for me. Anyway.
Well, let's try and give you a chance on here. Tara just kind of raised her arm. It's like, excuse me, Bart, I want to try something.
What do I have to roll to?
All right. So Tara will roll her brave dice against Bard's brave dice to see if she can interrupt you.
That's a 4.
Actually, can I just let her go?
Unfortunately, you can't. In the chaos of action and combat, this has to be challenged. You might be too wrapped up in what's happening to realize somebody's trying to interrupt you.
Okay, I guess we roll again.
But no, that's a tie. We're going to say Tara goes ahead and wins that one.
All right. Okay, so got 2d6. Let's try for a relatively easy one to help build a chain up for everyone on this side. And she can't saw the cat over there, and she tries to call her own imaginary friend up.
Okay.
So while I'm rolling those dice, I actually have to figure out what that would be. Because it looks like whatever it is, it's coming into being.
Okay. Well, first of all, when you cast a call spell, your previous call spell immediately disappears. You can only have one called monster under your control at a time. The snakes count as one. But something new appears. It is represented by a picture of a cat, but it can be whatever you like. I am going to place it just above. Everybody's called monster, or everybody's imaginary friend is different. There's a classic imaginary friend that is taught within the schools of Yeld, which is called the Luck Bunny, which kind of looks like a rabbit Pokemon. but otherwise, different people summon different things.
Okay, hers is actually, it's just this big black cape that just kind of wraps around her back. Like it's kind of like hiding her from everything.
Interesting.
It's got like big glowing eyes up on the hood that just kind of look around at people.
Nice. I like that. There is some oohs and ahs from the audience. They haven't seen something like this before. And somebody calls out, I think that's an imaginary friend. Who do you choose to go next? There is now an action chamber.
Yeah, so now that he's got a bit more of a chance, let's give it back to Bard here, because that's what she wanted to do, is kind of give him a boost.
So Bard being frustrated that he hasn't cast a spell, frustrated that he's been interrupted, even though it's by Tara, Bard is going to try and cast into the future himself.
Okay.
And is there a way that I could use my Fight Dirty?
Unfortunately not. Fight Dirty does not have an application for casting spells.
In that case, it's like you see the future, but with only. Oh, actually, I still have the extras. Yeah, I meant the extra plus one. The way I've been rolling,
yeah,
true.
I have that extra sushi, so Bard is going to slam that down real quick, and that will give me 3 dice.
That's a fair shot.
And so, kind of with his mouth like partially full, starts casting the spell.
Somebody in the crowd shouts out, "That's a lot of sushi!"
Hey!
Oh my god!
Wow!
Nice.
Look at that. Bard, how do you discover magic?
So, as he's sitting there reading the spell and like half chewing, as he's reading, he all of a sudden it something about the sushi it tastes like his favorite like dish from home. It must be like the sauce or something. It kind of makes it taste like a fish lasagna. And so all of a sudden his mind just clicks and he just understands it so clearly. He's like, oh my word, I did those others wrong?
What? Let me ask you a question. What job are you planning on taking?
I'm going to take Shepherd.
The spell encompasses you, and for a moment, your entire world goes white, and you see a vision of yourself amongst a flock of sheep, and you are calling for Coda, but Coda is lost deep in the woods and will not come, no matter how much you call. And then reality snaps back, and you realize you've seen maybe a glimpse of the future. But yeah, so you're going to be able to re-roll your next failed roll. It's the effects of the spell, and that was a successful spell. The crowd is not sure what happened, but this time they understand that you cast a spell, and they clap and they cheer, and somebody yells out, "I knew he could do it!"
He like takes a stance and points to that person, like double guns, almost like a side shot of it, and he's like, "It's story time!"
Who do you choose to go next?
I am gonna choose, since that was successful and it moves up the action chain. Who is left? I think all of my side, right, except for Tara.
You have Siobhan and you have DJ.
Well, since Siobhan said that they only had one smart dice as well. I will look at Siobhan and say, take it.
All right. I am going to once again try to call an imaginary friend.
Okay.
Redeem myself from that last roll, so I have 3d6. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. And an Irish wren appears and lands on my finger like I'm a Disney princess.
Uh-huh. That's for you. Yeah, the crowd cheers. They know that's an imaginary friend. That's the kind of thing they expect and they love. So that was successful. Who do you want to go next?
DJ and is left.
DJ and Coda.
DJ and Coda.
Oh, and Coda.
Or we can combine them together to be DJ Coda.
Let's do DJ.
Okay. Looking at this. Gonna go ahead and do blind on.
Just all hostility from the northwestern corner.
Bad sport. Bad sport. Those have to be within 4 spaces.
Yeah, you'll have to move closer to cast the spell.
Oh, actually, no. Let me change it up. Actually, I want to do friend. Imaginary friend
Which one?
one.
Imaginary. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
I thought you were going to say, oh, target a friend. Wait, you're going to cast blind on Siobhan?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a CNI.
14.
All right, you call your imaginary friend into being. Call your imaginary friend into. There they are. What do they look like?
It is a well, it's supposed to be a small creature, but I want it to be a sort of a large-sized white rat with red eyes.
Okay, that's just fine. Yeah, the crowd claps, but they've seen this trick before. One of them calls out and says, "Hey, do something new." Who do you choose to go next?
I will have Coda go next.
All right, there is a big action chain bonus, +4.
All right, so I have 5d6 to try and deliver a spell.
Please do.
Wish
Please,
showstopper.
please do it. I believe in you.
Yay. Let's see. Blind, challenge 9 4. Probably my best shot. All right. I could do Fire Hat, which is in easier. I've done Fire Hat and it's worked.
Mhm.
Do I do Fire Hat or do I do Blind?
I say go
It's
for
tough.
it.
All right.
You got a bunch of dice.
All right. So we got 5d6 and we're going to go for Blind on the fox.
This time he's watching you and he's like, no, come on, no.
Hey.
Oh, damn it! All right, he's going to try to resist, but he stands there and his eyes just go completely black, and he says, "God, fucking, motherfucking wolf! God damn it! How am I supposed to read the spell book now? I give up!" And he stomps off the board. The crowd cheers, the crowd yells, the proctor raises his hand and says, "Time for the next round," and then the spelling bee turns to him and says, "Buzz, buzz, 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 buzz," in more solemn bee voice. And the proctor goes, "Oh? Oh, really? All right." The spelling bee has proclaimed that there is a 5-way tie for this round. We are declaring all 5 of these children the winner of this round. Congratulations. And there is confused applause from the audience. The spelling bee ascends back through the top of the tent as the proctor leads you back into the tent. He also collects all your spelling books. as you go back into the tent, you can see the red hooded girl is passed out. The fox is loudly complaining to some of the other contestants. The fairy is standing at the buffet eating sushi. His head is still on fire. It hasn't gone out. He nods at you and says, "Congratulations, you were well fought."
I think Gator runs in. He's like, guys, that was so cool. How'd you do
Artist,
that?
like, did you see me throw out that line like it was nothing? People are going to catch on to my line.
What do you mean your line?
It's
Listen.
story time.
It'd be better if you said it's gas time.
Oh my God. Not again, guys.
Or snake time. Did you say how many snakes were on that field?
There were so many snakes.
It was like
That
that
was
one
a
time
great
Gator brought
spell.
home all those snakes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you guys got to do magic. I thought you had to spell words.
I did too.
That's what I thought.
I was thinking the same
If I-
thing.
If I had known there was magic, I would have signed up for sure and headbutted people too. That was awesome, DJ.
She shouldn't have interrupted me.
Oh, by the
I
way,
think-
poor Siobhan is still stuck.
In mud.
Somebody has to. So Siobhan also now joins you in the buffet room, having been carved out of the mud by it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
How long does the imaginary friend spell last?
Imaginary friend spell lasts quite a bit. However, at the end of the contest, the spells were dispelled.
Okay.
So your imaginary friends are now gone. But now you know if you ever summon one again, what they will.
Mhm.
The proctor, the squid man, comes in and he looks at the bunch of you and he calls you over and he says, "Listen, congratulations, we have some prize money for you. You did a good job. Not to disappoint you, but the prize money is lots of coins. It's meant for one person, so we're going to have to split that amongst you. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But here's the unusual part. The spelling bee wants to see you. Will you
All
come and
of
talk to
us?
it? Yeah, he
Sure.
said to come get you and bring you to him. Will you?
Like including my brothers and
He said to get the whole group. It's just the bunch of you, right? Like
Yeah,
the 6 of
it's
you and the wolf.
I didn't bring our EpiPens. Are we sure we're supposed to go near the bee?
I promise he
seems
he does not sting. He's the bees of Honey Hill. You don't have to worry. I mean, he might cast a spell on you, but he seems very interested to speak to you, or rather, he'll speak to me, and then I'll tell you what he says. He doesn't speak our language.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, he leads you out of the tent and back around to another fancier tent, and inside, it's a big traveling tent. Inside is a big carpet. There are pillows scattered around. There are small bookshelves full of books. There's a bedding area. The bed looks like someplace a bee would sleep, however you might imagine that. And hovering in the middle of the room is the spelling bee. Turns to you and nods as you come in and says, "Buzz, buzz, 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 buzz." And the proctor says, would you all like some tea with honey?
Ooh.
The proctor doesn't wait for you to answer. He pours 7 small bowls of tea and hands you each one. He sits one on the ground. Cody.
Relapse beside it.
Just
Sing it.
The tea
That's
is
bad.
hot and it's very fragrant. It has an overwhelming sweetness of honey in it. The proctor also has a bowl which he drinks. And the proctor says, "So the spelling bee is traveling from town to town as the judge of this tournament, and I don't know how familiar you are with this tournament, but the grand prize, the ultimate prize, is an invitation to come and attend at the Royal Academy for Mystical Arts. That is the purpose of this contest, to find new suitable students for the academy. And I hope that you'll continue on to Boulder Town, where you can compete in the next round of contest. But I don't think that's why the spelling bee wants to talk to you. He looks over at his boss, and the spelling bee says, "Buzz, buzz, 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 buzz." The proctor says, "The spelling bee thinks that you're in trouble. He thinks that you are far from your hive, and that you may need help."
So DJ
We do.
speaks up and says, yeah, we do need help. We're trying to get this door open to go back home where we came from.
We need our
Okay.
snacks.
The proctor looks around, and he goes over to a side table and brings over some sweet honey crackers. Is this okay? We don't really have much that doesn't have honey in it.
It's not bones, but I'll eat.
So you explain your situation to the spelling bee, and they listen, and they ask some questions. You're not from here? You came through some kind of magical door?
Yes, that is correct.
And it's closed now and locked.
Yeah, we spent all night trying to open it, and nothing we did would work.
They talk between the two of themselves for a few minutes, and then the bee directs the proctor over to one of the bookshelves, and the proctor pulls off a book, and they consult the book for a few minutes. And then the proctor brings it over to you and lays it open in front of you. And there's an illustration of a door that is very much like your door, with a lock that is very much like your lock, with 7 keyholes. And he says, "Is it like this?"
Yes, it is.
They got a picture of it?
Well, this was drawn a long time ago. The spelling bee comes from a town called E-Town, I think.
Honey Hill?
Honey Hill. Thank you. My God, I forget names so easily. Comes from a town called Honey Hill, and Honey Hill is very much connected to the Royal Academy. The spelling bees of Honey Hill are professors of the Royal Academy. And in his time at the Royal Academy, the spelling bee has heard stories of people, I guess, from your world who sometimes come through this door. He doesn't know of anybody who's come through a door like that in his lifetime, but it's mentioned in this book at least.
What do you mean our world?
Well, I don't think. I mean, maybe that door leads to another part of Yeld, but based on what the book says, it probably connects to another world entirely, and that would be the world you're from.
I mean, it makes sense. It's not like any of this was back home.
Well, and we don't have King's people with round ears like yours. All the King's people I've ever met have normal ears. And also, I've never met anybody who dresses like any of you. And I hope you'll forgive me, but that's the weirdest looking wolf I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's the interesting thing. Where we come from, animals don't speak. We can't communicate verbally with animals. In fact, our what you call a wolf, our dog here, we couldn't understand what he was thinking or saying until we came through the door.
I was always speaking. Why weren't you understanding? You're dumb.
You said, yeah, well, okay. Well, regardless of all that, I think we've landed on the problem. You're from another world, and you want to get back there, I assume.
Yeah. And we don't want to get in trouble.
Well, I'm afraid you're in quite a bit of trouble, because the solution isn't simple. What the spelling bee has told me is if you want to find the keys that are going to unlock that door, you're going to need to go on a quest. Do you understand what a quest is?
Oh yeah, we played
Yeah,
several
Like in a
games.
video game.
Oh, good. Okay, you've done something like this before. Great. Well, the book says that your keys are held by, and this is bad news, by the Hunters of Yeld. Is that a name you're familiar with?
No.
Doesn't
boy.
sound good.
I know
Well,
a kid named Hunter.
Is that a music band?
No, I'm afraid it's not. The Hunters are bad news. They are how should I say? They are the evil people who control most of the territories of Yeld. Where we are now, this town and the towns around it, Honey Hill, Boulder Town, are not under control of any of the hunters, but there are 7 of them, and they control the other regions of Yeld, and they have your keys. Now, some of them may be reasonable, and you may be able to convince them to give you their keys, but I'm afraid some of them are literally monsters, and you're going to have to fight them.
Fight them. Well, we
I'm
already
afraid-
fought some lobsters and won. So if they're anything like that,
That's a good sign, he says completely unconvincingly. Listen, I take it you're students.
yeah.
I'm retired. I'm
Oh.
expired.
Oh,
That's what they said from the military. They said, "I'm too old. I'm expired."
oh, you're a military man. Well, maybe this won't be as difficult as I thought. Listen, in order to take on a quest like this, you need jobs. And I don't mean the normal kind of job like tailor or shopkeeper or soldier. I mean, the spelling bee has within his power the ability to grant you a heroic job. Do you know what a hero is? Well, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in our video games.
Oh, okay. I guess you're more familiar with this than I thought you were. So the spelling bee is going to give you the power to become heroes, and you are going to take on a heroic job, and then you will be equipped to go and challenge these hunters and get your keys back. And after that, you should be able to open your door.
And we can just go home?
Yeah. The spelling bee thinks it'll be that simple. I mean, not that that's simple at all. It's going to take you a while to track down these hunters, and they are dangerous people.
Well, that sounds good, but our dad wants us to be lawyers. So can we be lawyers?
Right.
Diesel laughs and says, "There's no way I'm going to."
Yep, Bard doesn't want. I don't want to be a lawyer either. There.
Well, somebody has to do it. I'll be a lawyer.
Well,
Well, you're his favorite anyway.
Be a snake.
The role of heroes is a little less mundane and a little more stabby than that. But I'll tell you what. I'll let the spelling bee do his thing, and then I'll go get the stuff, and you can choose what kind of heroes you're going to be. What do you think?
Well, is there a quicker way for us to get through the door, or is this the only way?
Kid, I think this is the only way, and I'm not even sure this will work.
All right.
He says, "All right, just a second," and he leaves the tent. The spelling bee says, "Buzz, buzz, 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 buzz," and kind of motions for you all to gather around it.
All right.
Yeah,
Tara shuffles in. She's kind of just been staring at her hands this entire time.
It hovers above you, and it starts to chant in its buzzy voice, and the room fills with kind of a magic. It almost feels like you're being dipped in honey. The spelling bee reaches out with its staff, and it knocks you each, not hard, but hard enough that it hurts a little, on the head with its staff, and you all feel a swell of magic inside you. You feel something unlocked and spreading through. You feel you're becoming more than what you were. You're not just a child anymore. You're something beyond that. You feel parts of yourself unlocking that you didn't know exist. except for Coda. Coda feels the magic slide off him into a darker place, a dimmer place, a greener place. But this isn't apparent to the rest of you. The proctor returns carrying a huge sealed trunk, and he slams it down on the ground as the magic dissipates around you, and he opens it up, and he says, "Hey kids, this is what we've got. I think this is enough to equip you. Why don't you come over and choose your jobs?" And he opens up this chest that is full of costumes and equipment, and lots of hats, some weapons, and some other stuff. And you can now choose your heroic job. Except for Coda, who, unbeknownst to the rest of you, is slowly turning into a monster, and which is a monster job.
Fully turning, like our backs are turning, it's just warping, or you mean like over the next few days?
All right. So this will be up to Coda a little bit. I know you had an original plan for how this would play out, and I thought that sounded really cool. But we're a little bit more on the move.
Yep.
When you become a monster, I like to leave it up to the player how that manifests. The transformation has begun, but that might not be apparent for a while. You will take on the mechanical part of the job now, but the physical transformation will be up to you. It might happen slowly over the course of a season, or it might happen quickly over the course of like a day. You kind of get to decide that.
Okay. So then I will be going with the Hunter in the Darkness as the monster job.
Okay.
So
I think that's a really fascinating choice, and I think we can do a lot of interesting stuff with that. And we'll get into that a little more later. But for now, so each of you has taken on a job, and I think you all had jobs in mind. But very quickly, I'd like to go over what that entails. You all have access to copies of the report.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at your job entry, which is a 2-page spread, each job has a kit, and the kit includes 2 core dice. So for example, if you were a witch hunter, you would get +1 smart dice and +1 tough dice. You get a list of weapons that you can use. So for example, the witch hunter can use staffs, clubs, and daggers. And those are weapons that you can borrow all the dice from when you use them. You can obviously pick up other weapons that aren't on your list. You just can't borrow dice from. You also get 2 specific special dice that you gain at the moment you take the job. In the case of the witch hunter, is the tease special die and the smell magic special die. And then you get a kit, which includes the equipment you get. You're going to start with a costume that signifies your job. So, for example, if you're a shepherd, you would get a shepherd's costume, and you could decide what that looks like. But what that means is when people look at you, they understand that you're a shepherd. Same with any other job. You'll also get a weapon of your choice and maybe some other equipment. Most importantly, you also pick up 1 or more job abilities. And job abilities are your special ability as part of this job. All the jobs have 1 job ability. Some of the jobs have 2 or more job abilities. And this is something you can do every adventure. Finally, each job has a bespoke list of special dice that they can purchase that nobody else can purchase. It doesn't mean you have to buy these special dice. Some of them you might find really useful. Some of them you're interested in, but those are options only you have. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up here this evening. I would invite you over the next week to go ahead and dive into your job, to fill out your character sheet. You get, for this adventure, you get 1 more reward die, so you'll have 1 more reward die to spend to either buy a special die or take a roll on the treasure table. And of course, those of you who get weapons or other equipment get to choose your weapon. And if you're interested, the list of normal weapons that you would choose are on page 185 and 186 of the book. type that in the Discord chat.
I have one question. For the 5 of us that won, do we mark down lots of coins or?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. So each one of you received an additional amount of some coins. Now, when you receive an amount of coins that you already have, the GM gets to decide if that increases the amount you have in total to the next amount. And in this case, it does. So now you have all gone from some coins to lots of coins, except for Coda, who already spent some of their coins. So they'll remain at some coins.
Okay. And so what I recommend, so we can all keep things straight with our My Friends list, is in the pen and paper section, just when you pick what job you're doing, just mention it in the pen and paper section. For instance, I'm planning on going witch hunters. Say, I just put that.
Yeah, and I would appreciate it if you all post your jobs, so that way I can also, so Nick and I can also look and choose our jobs and not choose the same ones as one of you. Very finally, we have now advanced to rank 1. I know I said that at the end of the last game. So when you are choosing your equipment, when you're choosing your weapons or any other equipment you would choose, make sure you choose rank 1. And you'll see, if you look at the weapon charts, there's a significant difference between weapons at different ranks. For example, a rank 1 sword receives +1 brave dice and +1 strong dice. All right, I think that's it for now. Nick will be running the next adventure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any notes for everyone?
Well, what I would like to do is that usually when we end an adventure and we've chosen who the next person to go is, that person, that GM, will the group, what are things that you might like to see next session? I know we're only a couple games in, so that's kind of a tough question to answer. But if there's anything specific you guys are interested in doing or exploring, or mechanics you're interested in, go ahead and tell me, and then I will try and work those in.
Well, can I lead off and say I would like a chance to do some brief shopping? I don't want to have a whole shopping adventure, but I would like a chance to spend some of our coins.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see that. I think that would be a good idea for the beginning of the next episode. Now we have our jobs in case there's something we want to fill out for our characters.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry. Shopping. We have one more thing to cover, one more small scene to cover before.
Okay.
There's a knock on the tent as you were all going through the chest that the proctor has brought in. There's a knock on the tent, and the proctor goes over, and he talks to somebody outside, and then he turns and with a confused look, he says, "Is one of you named Coda?"
Oh, woof. Yes.
Oh, there's somebody here to see you.
Okay.
You step outside.
So, sure.
All right. You step outside, and there is a person, kind of a rabbit-looking person, kind of a rabbity face with long rabbit ears, but otherwise a very human-looking person. And they are wearing a red and yellow uniform, and they are carrying a big bag of mail. And instinctively, as a dog, you recognize a mailman.
And it's a rabbit.
It's a rabbit.
And
oh my god!
Or rabbit.
And I just immediately crouch down and start growling, getting ready to chase.
Hey! Are you Coda?
Yes.
I have a package for you. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a small package and he sets it down in front of him. And then he slowly backs away.
I'm trying to decide between package and rabbit. Package and rabbit. Package and rabbit.
Well, before you can make your decision, he takes off at an astounding speed and leaves nothing but a Looney Tunes style cloud of dust behind him. You can, of course, chase him if you want to.
No, I know a rabbit when it's gotten ahead of me. That happens all too often. I once chased around a rabbit around a pine tree 3 times, and it disappeared altogether. I don't know what happened.
Magic rabbit.
The proctor looks at you and says, does anybody know you're here?
I don't know. I'm beyond the fence. Going beyond the fence, I don't know of anybody. They're all evil people.
He shakes his head. He's a squid, so it's kind of hard to read his expression, but he seems confused and a little.
All right. So I will sniff the package. What does this package smell like?
It smells like mail. There's something else there. Something unpleasant. Not rotten. Not urine. Not feces. Not dead. Just there's something cold there.
All right. Yes, I will paw at the package and see if I can open it.
You do. It opens. You strip off the plain brown paper, and underneath is a small box that's wrapped in something. That's wrapped in kind of a decorative paper, and it takes you a moment to realize that it's a gift, like the kids get on their birthdays or Christmas. Peeling that inside, you find a letter. And the letter, wait, does Coda read?
No. I mean, I was surprised I could use a spell book. I mean, it was like, I didn't know how I understood it.
That must have been more intuitive than anything. There's a letter inside.
I look at it. And I have that dog tip to the head side and kind of looking puzzled at this, as not knowing what to do with it. It's not food. It's not a toy.
The proctor asks if you'd like him to read it to you.
Okay. What you do with this?
Yeah, it's somebody sent a message to you. Do you not get letters where you come from?
No one ever sent me messages.
Well, I guess this is your first. He reads it over really quickly, and he reads it out loud, and he says,
"Wait a minute! They had a file. That's what they had. They had a file for Coda file. That file is expired.
Oh, like a record?
I guess it was a record.
Well, that makes sense. If you were in the military, that makes sense. So he reads the letter, and the letter says, "Happy birthday to you, Coda. May your first year in Yeld be without tragedy." And the proctor says, "Oh, that's nice." And then he continues to read, and it says, "Best wishes, Prince Dregler." And his expression changes to a frown, and he says, "Oh, that's not nice at all." And in the package is a gift, and the gift is 1 reward die.
Ooh.
And that is that. So just for reference, every year on your birthday, Prince Dragul, who is the evil ruler of Yeld, sends you a birthday present. That's the kind of guy he is.
And just because you're evil doesn't mean you have to be rude.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill him with kindness.
Anyway, that's where we'll leave our game this week.
Good.
Yeah, if you have any questions about your jobs or what you get out of your jobs or how your job abilities work or anything like that, or how to spend your reward dice, let me know. Specifically, if you're taking a spell casting job, you might have a few questions about what spells you can cast, and I'm happy to answer that.
So we do have 1 reward dice, correct?
You all have 1 reward die, except for Coda, who has an extra birthday reward die.
Okay. Just want to adjust that so I know. I already know what I'm spending mine on.
Okay, excellent. All right, that'll be it. I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for playing.
I'm excited for next week.
Yep.
Thank you for
guys
running.
all for watching.
All right.
Have a great night.
Night all.
Good night, everyone.